What's up, guys? Gonna be talking about something that maybe a lot of you might not want to hear about, so I guess trigger warning, but I am gonna be talking about death once again, unfortunately. So if you don't want to hear about it, here is your chance to move along. Or if you're just tired of seeing my face every day, totally understandable, so am I most of the time. A few days ago, one of my aunts passed away. Unfortunately, I've dealt with a lot of death in my life, and I just wanted to share those feelings that I've felt during those moments when finding out about it and just dealing with it in general, so that other people dealing with this, they know that they're not alone. That's the whole reason why I do this mental health thing, is I want to put some awareness on it. I want to work through my own stuff, and I hope that other people see it and they get encouraged to change their lives. And in the process of death, being it such a hard thing to deal with, I know one of the feelings I've felt when dealing with it is that nobody else could ever feel this. Certain people that you lose in your life, you feel like there's no way that anybody else in the world could ever be feeling this weird shit that I'm thinking right now, or the way that I'm processing this is horrible. I just want to put out the way I deal with it, or what I think about it, and just let you know that you're not alone if you do as well think this way. The grieving process. Something to note, it is different for everybody. The human mind itself is so complex, and every action that we do can have so many different meanings, and everybody can interpret their own way of how they handle stress. And it could drive you crazy. It could give you depression. You could have survivor's guilt in certain situations. Who knows how you're going to process it when it happens, and when it's something overload like death, man, it's so hard to deal with sometimes. So I would just say, if you know someone has had loss in their life, to maybe try not to judge them on how they process it. For example, I make a lot of jokes, and maybe it might be too soon, whatever it is. I don't mean to hurt feelings. I don't mean to seem like I don't care. For me, ever since I was a child, any kind of tragedy that happened, beginning with my grandma who passed away, who raised us for a few years, that was so hard that when I saw everybody else and they were crying and they were down, one of those kind of tragedy type moments is when I would try to make everybody feel better. Even though I was sad, it helped me to know that I could do something by making people laugh. Even though it's not to make fun of the situation that has happened, it is to lighten the load of that sadness and that depression and whatever else everybody's feeling over that loss. And that's how I deal with grieving, and then a little bit of crying on my own in my room where no one can see me, or in the shower, or in the rain. But that's how I deal with it. But everybody has their own process, and I think that sometimes people get judged for the way they deal with it, and they shouldn't be. Another big thing is our own mortality. I think it's taboo to talk about death with most people. I know that I talk about it a lot because it's something that I analyze in all of my mental health, and it's something that drives my anxiety because I have a fear of death constantly. And if you have anxiety, you know what the hell I'm talking about. And when you have a loss, it brings you to think about your own mortality. And I wanted to bring that up because I think some people might feel ashamed, or they might feel selfish when they lose people, and they're automatically thinking about their own lives now, and they're thinking about their own deaths. I don't think that you should feel bad for that at all. It's a human thing. You just are gonna feel what you feel. You know, certain thoughts, certain feelings come into your mind, and you can't help but feel that. And to be ashamed of it and be judged, that's a horrible feeling. And I just wanted to put that out there so that other people didn't feel alone, because I feel like it's a natural thing. If you never ever want to think about death, but then people are going to die in your life inevitably, it's going to make you think about your own death, because you were not the type of person to want to do that ever. A really, really big part of death is regret. I know for me personally, when I think about my aunt, her and I, we were not very close in my adult life. As a child, she was very nice. I remember her being very nice, and she helped take care of us like a lot of our family did. And I love her. She's my family, and it is sad that she has passed. But unfortunately, I regret the fact that in my adult life, we were not that close. For me personally, I know my mental health issues have kept me from just seeing people in general for many, many years in my life. I regret that, but now I'm gonna try to do what I can now that I'm working on everything and doing a lot better. I'm hoping to reach out and spend more time with family, friends, loved ones. It's always something I've wanted to do, but I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't doing the things in my life for myself, let alone involving other people. And I bring up regret because I know a lot of times people end up at a funeral and it brings people together. A funeral, it's dark, it's sad, it's the ending of someone's story, but it also is a new chapter in everybody else's lives that are still here right now. And so a funeral, even though it is sad, it is bringing people together that might not come together all the time. Although you might have regrets on not being able to spend as much time with the person who passed away, maybe, the other people that are still here, you can make time for that. And that goes along the lines of, you're not promised tomorrow, life is short, death can remind you of that, and it could be used in a good way to motivate you. Now, I'm not trying to downplay anybody's death and trying to say that you can make it positive 100%, but with anything in life, you can look at the light in the darkness, and it might be a little harder during the times of death, but it's still possible in those moments. Getting support. Very, very, very important. Although everybody grieves differently, I believe at some point you're gonna need some support. You're gonna need to vent, you're gonna need to talk to people. I say embrace the loved ones that you have around you still during that loss. I say grieve together if you can. Get support. If you somehow don't have any more family, don't have any friends to go to, there's support groups online, there's phone numbers that you can call. There are people that are willing to talk to you, give you support, help you sort out whatever you might be going through in your moment of loss. And if you can't find anybody, hit me up, because I'm going through loss right now, and that's why I'm putting this out there. I want you to know that you're not alone. Whatever journey you're going on in this life, I'm right here, also dealing with loss and dealing with it in similar ways to whatever you might be doing. Much love.